This is a review of the Math Space Assignment 2.02 Multiplication Properties of Exponents. This is a review for those of you that struggled with some of the problems and you need to redo the incorrect problems to improve your grade. So I'm going to go over problems that trip some students up, and if these apply to you, use what we learn here to correct your mistakes to improve your grade. So the first type of problem that trip people up is this one here, write in exponential form, and the problem is 5 times u times 7 times v times v times v times v. So we've got to read the question carefully. It's asking for exponential form. So we need exponents in our answers, and what I'm looking for here is, are there things that I can simplify? Well, I can simplify 5 times 7. So right away, 5 times 7, the constants simplify out to 35. Then I'm looking for other like terms, like variables that I can simplify. Well, I've got u times u. U times u is u squared. I'm going to apply the same now to the exponents, which is v times v times v times v. That's v to the 4th. Now many of you had this statement here, and you were getting frustrated because you thought that you were correct and MathSpace isn't accepting the answer. Well, you're mostly correct. This problem is not simplified because we have the operation symbols in it. We have these multiplication symbols. So completely simplified, in algebra, those multiplication symbols are not necessary. To simplify it even further, we would write it without the multiplication symbols as 35 u squared v to the 4th. And that would be our final answer, and that will get you full credit and a correct answer in MathSpace. The second question is asking us to write using expanded notation. So again, make sure you're reading the instructions carefully so that you're answering the problem. Well, we've got a statement in exponential form, and now it wants expanded. So we're going the opposite way of what we just did in the first problem. So we're going to expand this one out. So I've got 11 multiplied by v to the 4th. Well, v to the 4th is v times v times v times v. 4 times repeatedly. U to the 4th, same thing. Multiplied by u times u times u times u. And that is the final answer. That is in expanded notation. The third problem has 6x to the 14th multiplied by something equals 30x to the 17th. So let's start with the coefficients. 6 multiplied by something is 30. We know that 6 times 5 is 30. Right? So 6 times 5 is 30. Now let's look at the exponents. X to the 14th multiplied by something is x to the 14th. Using our exponent rules, we know that a power multiplied by another power with the same base, we can add the exponents. So 14 plus 3 is 17. So this is x to the 3rd. 14 plus 3 is 17. So 5x to the 3rd would be our answer there. Second to last problem. We're going to write this expression in exponential form. It's already got exponents in it, but it's not simplified. So we've got a power of c to the 7th raised to the 4th power. Now that 4, this guy here, is telling us to multiply what's inside the parentheses repeatedly 4 times. So if I was to write this in expanded notation, it's c to the 7th times c to the 7th times c to the 7th times c to the 7th. So now I've got a power multiplied by a power, same base. We can add the exponents, right? And that's what this whole string of multiplication is. So this is really c times c to the 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, which is c to the 28th. That's a very long way about going about the problem, and we want to be more efficient. We know that repeated addition can be done with multiplication. So instead of expanding this out and then adding all of the exponents over and over again, we can take a shortcut. Instead of the repeated addition, we can multiply the exponents to get the same answer. So this would be c to the 7 times 4, which is c to the 28th. That's for power of a power. The final example is very similar to the one that we've just done. I'm being asked to take what is inside the parentheses and repeatedly multiply it 3 times. So if I was to expand this out, if I just focus on the 4, that would be 4 times 4 times 4. I would do the same thing with the y to the 4th. Y to the 4th times y to the 4th times y to the 4th. So I've expanded it out, and now I can start simplifying. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64, and y to the 4th multiplied by y to the 4th multiplied by y to the 4th is y to the 12th. So there's my answer. Now again, I had to expand it out to get that answer. There is a shortcut, and it's pretty much the same thing as what we did in the problem above. I can multiply the exponents inside the parentheses by the 3. Now you're saying, but Mr. Topo, there's no exponent on the coefficient here. Well, we can put a 1 in. 4 to the 1st is 4. So that 1 is not really necessary, but we can put it there as a reminder. And now we can do 4 to the 1st and multiply those exponents. That would be 4 to the 3rd. And then we can do y to the 4th, multiply those exponents. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we'll just simplify 4 to the 3rd, which is 64 y to the 12th. So this would be the answer to completely simplify it. If I was asked to write this in exponential form, I could stop here. Then everything has an exponent in it. And that is our review of multiplication properties of exponents. I hope this helps and that you can complete the reassigned task for an improved grade. If you have any questions still, email me and I'll get back to you right away.